another increases dramatically. Therefore, throughout the agonizing weeks of this war, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, along with numerous
Sorry, last thing I gotta say is the opposite of appeasement is awarment, okay? Awarment. And appeasement, or the counter to appeasement, could have only happened under a non-nuclear proliferated state, okay? So if you're not gonna fucking advocate for awarment, then shut the fuck up about appeasement.
Ukrainian civilians and diplomats have pleaded with the West, America, and NATO to assist the country by ordering a total closure of the skies above to Russian warplanes. A no-fly zone.
To create a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
Sanctions now! Sanctions now!
The accurate description of what people mean by a no-fly zone is actually an aerial combat zone.
A no-fly zone, if people understood what it means World War III.
Because if an American pilot shoots down a Russian pilot, that's a
Bro, they did such a good job going against their fucking no-fly zone propaganda for years and years and years because they were using it against like fucking Libya and shit. It's so funny seeing like, you know, Marcus Aurelius Rubius over here fucking talking about how like devastating a no-fly zone would be. You know what I mean? Oh, what's up, dude? That's crazy. I'm just surprised. What happened? Oh, all of a sudden, you know, you can't do a no-fly zone against a fucking nuclear power. Oh man, wild. So why does nobody yell at these motherfuckers for appeasement versus awarment? They're doing appeasement. They're conceding to Russia. They're literally, not only are they conceding to Russia, but they're literally telling Russia exactly what their flight movements are. Okay, they're constantly fucking telling Russia exactly what their flight patterns are, what their flight movements look like. They are limiting the level of intelligence that they're allowing Ukrainians to have on their side. Duchess Evie, thank you for the 5 get the subs. So what's up? Why is nobody thinking that these guys are also doing appeasement? I'm working on my social media platform, probably on the biggest, which temporarily allows the praise of the Azov Battalion. What do you think about it? I'm working for a social media platform which temporarily allowed the praise. Yeah, I think that's fucking stupid. Okay, I think fuck the Azov Battalion. I think every fucking news outlet that even offers any kind of coverage of the Azov Battalion beyond being like beyond them being Nazi are doing a disservice to Ukrainians. I think it's fucking whack as shit. I think it's totally unacceptable. They're literally doing fucking propaganda for the Nazis. I don't. So stupid. They are fucking Ukrainians, not as hard as Russia is right now, but like they're fucking future Ukrainians super hard.
declaration of war.
Many parliaments within NATO allied countries of Eastern and Northern Europe like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Slovenia have all called for the no-fly zone to be established. But despite all of these urgent requests, poll after poll carried out across countries in Western Europe have consistently shown low support among the general Western European public for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. However, the same cannot be said of the American public, where several polls there have shown consistently high support for one throughout the invasion, like a poll from Reuters on the 4th of March that showed 74% of Americans supported the implementation of a no-fly zone, a CBS poll from the 11th of March that found 59% of Americans supported one, and a Quinnipiac poll from the 16th of March that found nearly 1 in 3 Americans still disagreed with President Biden's decision to not.
Wait, did Moldova also call for a no-fly zone? Oh, you know they did. You know they did, dude. Are you kidding me? Explosions reported in Kyiv, retaliation of Putler asking for the sinking of Moskova, I guess. Americans don't even understand what a no-fly zone means and what consequences it has. Okay, first of all, Corn Pop TV, you'd be one of those stupid Americans if you didn't watch me all the fucking time, okay? When I first started talking about how fucking no-fly zones are stupid, there were hella people in this chat that were like, what do you mean? Why not? That sounds like a great idea. And the reason why most Americans have this opinion, and I don't even like hate them for it, even though they are bloodthirsty for the most part. The reason why they're hitting Kiev Oblast right now because of Moscow most likely. But the reason why most Americans have this is because most Americans have this opinion is because they've been lied to over and over again. They've been propagandized like nonstop about no-fly zones and its efficacy. Like they make it's a propaganda term, no-fly zone. That's why they think it's different than Article 5, NATO. That's why they think it's different than fucking. Same with NATO, actually. Why do most Americans talk about letting Ukraine join NATO? That's not different than a no-fly zone. It's not. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's different than sending out your Air Force and fighting? What is different? No, it's not. What's different than invoking Article 5 for Ukraine, even though it's not a part of NATO? What's different than sending troops into Ukraine? It's not. No-fly zone is exactly the same. No-fly zone is exactly the same concept. It's just a different way to say the same shit, which is go to war with Russia. Go to conventional war with Russia. But the reason why people have such different opinions on this, when you ask them like what a no-fly zone entails, then the fucking support for it drops entirely. And it's still like way, way lower than, again, going into heated conventional war with Russia. The reason why there's such differences in opinion is propaganda. That's the difference.
Not impose one. But despite all of this public pressure within, and the mounting pressure coming in from NATO allies, and the Ukrainian government and civilians, President Biden and NATO have thus far continuously resisted.
A lot of chat is saying they don't know what it is, strangely enough. A no-fly zone is when the United States and all of the NATO forces, like they did in Libya, decide no enemy fucking flights can occur over a certain area, over a certain territory, like they did in Libya. What that means is you have to send your boats, you have to send your drones, you have to send your Air Force into that region and drop Russian planes, okay? That means conventional war. That means American flights, American Air Force attacking, dogfighting, whatever, destroying Russian aircraft, okay? It's the exact same as American boots on the ground military fighting against Russian military and like shooting each other. Okay?
Did these pleas and steadfastly refused to implement the no-fly zone over Ukraine, and they are unfortunately correct to continue doing so.
Exactly.
And these are all of the many reasons why. Despite the apparent fact that many Americans are in favor of the no-fly zone, I'd also wager that most of those Americans don't really understand what a no-fly zone actually means. It means setting up a zone, in this case the entirety of the airspace above Ukraine, and then demanding that no flights from anyone take place through that zone. The biggest danger with declaring a no-fly zone like that.
Well, I should have just played the video. But instead, I'm going to serve you the ad at the top of the hour. But there is a no ad zone. That's called being a subscriber. For $5 a month or for free, with the Twitch Prime, that is, you too can have a no ad zone when I serve you a 1-minute ad at the top of the hour. Every hour. Twitch Prime is, of course, free as long as you have an Amazon Prime account connected to your Twitch account. Okay, stop trying to invoke Article 5 on me. Or you can get gifted a sub, which is like Javelin missiles gifted to you by America, Oilers. Here's the 1-minute ad break now.